Avon is Kala. And then Adam. So you see, Fakert. So that it cannot be, when we say that the Puranis started there, it's referring to the Puranis of the Eitz Hadas, because in fact, it's not the Puranis of the Eitz Hadas. Ella Puranis the Mabul. Where did man get punished first? That's by the Mabul. So there you see Bereisha Adam v'Hada Behema, and of course the Mefarshim explain it started from the person because behemoths on their own will not become deviant. Vibal man was deviant. That was mashpia on the bria, and that caused the animals also to be mizdavik l'shein aminon. So it makes sense that we should get punished first. So were parts of. If it was a two-part sukna that were created, that would explain why the Yitzer has two yud. If you learn there was just a tail, my vayitzer. So what is the meaning of the double yud of a Yitzer? So tomorrow Reb Shimon ben Pazi, like Reb Shimon ben Pazi, which we already learned earlier. Reb Shimon ben Pazi, if I fall from my Yitzhara, it's going to be bitter for me because of my Yitzer will not be so happy. But if I only stick to the Rebbeinu Shalom, then my Yitzhara is going to drive me insane. Zok to more weiter. Bishlama, the mandam are parts of. Bishlama, according to the mandam who learns that it's a parts of, Hani d'chsiv, Zachar u'nekeva bara. That would make sense why it says that Hashem created us, Zachar u'nekeva. And it says baram, Rashi says, Mashma mitchilas briyasum kreyava. The original creation of man was a double creation, a Zachar and a Keva. And the mandam or Zanov, if it was merely an extra bone, an extra limb on Adam or Rishon, my Zachar Nekeva Bara. Hashem only created the Zachar. Hashem didn't create two. So the Market Rebavo. The Rebavo Rami. Rebavo had a kasha. Ksiv Zachar Nekeva Bara, which is mashma plural. And then it says, Uchsiv Ki Vitzelim Elokim Osa Esa Adam, which is a Lashon Yochid. So what is it? HaKetzat, B'tchila Ola B'machshava Levarisam Beis. Originally he wanted to make them two, and then Hashem Kivayachol changed his mind to create them as one. And again, that goes to the same story. Hashem created us one is because he asked us by creating us as one, it would hopefully be able to bond us and make us be able to stick together.
What was gained by the first machshava? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu want to have the first machshava? Do we know
well, that's how the Rebbeinu Shalom created all species, male and female. Right. Then Hashem said, for humans, let's do it a little bit differently.
Right, but HaKadosh Baruch Hu had the first machshava intentionally. Do we know what was gained by that? Like, we know what was gained by the second one.
I'm not sure if what you're asking is the following. Hashem doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
Is that what you're asking?
I'm not asking that.
That's what I'm
asking. I have an answer for that. I have an answer
right.
for that.
So I even answered that already. I answered that the first machshava was unintentional. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to have an initial and then an absoif, and there was something accomplished by both. So you told me what was accomplished by the second. What was accomplished by the first?
Well, we need a Zachar and a Keva to.
No, but the first to have it both separate.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
That's how the rest of the Bria was created, separately. So
it could have had a separate machshava for the Bria and a separate machshava for Adar.
maybe that's the end.
Okay.
They were always going to be created. And the way I read it is...
So Shlomi is saying a good horror. He's saying there was never an intention to make them two separate people.
Okay.
The question is, according to the Mandar, that it was Zonov, means only a male was created. There was no female at all. Mm-hmm. So the Lashon Boram was L'chatchila the Lashon wanted to create male and female in one guf, and then he decided to make only the male first and create the female from the male.
The problem with that is then we have the question of HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't have charoto.
So I once heard a beautiful shtickle from Radinsky, from Tzal Radinsky in Monsey. The Gemara also tells us, Chazal tells us, that when Hashem created the world, it was supposed to be created with din. And then Hashem saw that the oil will not be in the sky, so he made it with rachim. So what was that? It was a mistake? It was like the blueprints came out, and then there was like a revision, there was an addendum? Like, how does that work? How do you understand that?
The way I understand that is in general there's a theme, in historic theme for Kaisel, not quite for humans. So they can't live up to the standards that they were unable to live up to the standards that the Rebbeinu Shalom created. So Gan Eden, so the Madrega went down and they left Gan Eden. The Madrega went down again when they left, when they went after the Mabul, and then again after the Dora Floga, every time, and the Bria changed every time. From Gan Eden we went to a different life conditions. After the Mabul there were different life conditions. Suddenly there's a rishus to eat meat, right? So these are concessions that the Rebbeinu Shalom made, and he changes the Bria to adjust to the new reality of what mankind can handle. In other words, they weren't able to handle the din, those high standards of din.
Before the Rebbeinu created the world, there was already a addendum in the construction.
That's a good point.
How did that happen?
I don't know. It seems that something must have happened.
So
somehow.
The Ritz said a very nice word. Somebody once spoke over here.
Americans just say, ideally, this would be the situation.
That's the
ideal, and this is the reality.
It's not saying that Be'emes Hashem wanted.
Yeah, it's the ideal.
Hashem wanted to do. Okay, that could be shot. He said over. Somebody who spoke here once. He spoke out of Maral. Brings down the mashal from a Gemara with a person who was given a very precious keli to watch from the king, and something went wrong. It broke. And when the king came back, like he didn't know what's he going to do. So this guy, and it's a mashal that the Gemara brings to explain the pasuk of the Baal Aveir will ask the Malach, will ask the Novi, and one will say there's no Eitzah, you have to get oinchen. The other one says there's no Eitzah, you have to die. And then when you ask the Rebbeinu Shalom, says no problem, you do tshuva. And the marshal was, this guy had his broken vessel, and he went to this big mumcha to see if he could put it back together, and he said, it's impossible to put this back together, it should be perfect. And then he went to another advisor of the king and said, how should I deal with it? And the advisor says, I don't know, I think you should write a will, there's no eitzah. And then he went to the king himself, and he said, King, I messed up, I have a really bad keli. So the king said, don't tell anybody this, but I happen to have a certain affection for broken things, the artifact. And I like this. And the marshal was that the Rebbeinu Shalom has a love of people who do tshuva. It's a special love the Rebbeinu Shalom has for someone who does tshuva. So the Rebbeinu Shalom wanted to build tshuva into the Bria. So the Rebbeinu Shalom built it. At first he wanted to build it with din, and then he changed his mind. So the idea of backtracking and changing things is part of how the Rebbeinu Shalom built the fabric of the world. So the Rebbeinu built the fabric of the world to accommodate tshuva.
Who says it?
That's Rabbi Tal Radinsky said it. It was a beautiful shot. So could be it's the same thing. The Rebbeinu built the fabric of the world in such a way where there would be a better bond between a husband and a wife, and even though a husband sometimes gets into the doghouse, he could climb back out.
The famous word of Zohar for a love. Why do we say Zohar for a love? What's the idea behind that? The idea behind it is that the offer sinned by not producing the type of trees that Agudah Toronto gave. Now, Agudah Toronto said to produce trees that are always pre-free. So Agudah Toronto said this, and the disobeyed. The ground was able to disobey Agudah Toronto.
How was it be to do that?
So the idea of the Lord was that Agudah Toronto wanted the ground to disobey him, because he knew that Adam Rishon was going to sin. And if Adam Rishon would have sinned, and Adam Rishon was built from something that didn't sin before, he wouldn't have a pay, he wouldn't be able to...
Now you can say it's part of DNA. Now we can say it's part
They
of
can
DNA.
blame it on something else.
It was already built from something that sinned.
That's the offer. The offer is beautiful. Some lamet schusemas. Beautiful. Okay, zog the heilige Gemara weiter. But it's still a beautiful word. Zog the heilige Gemara weiter. Bishtam the man damar partsuf. Bishtam a koid the man with the partsuf. Hani the chsiv. By yiskar bosser tachtena. The Rebbeinu Shalom put bosser around it. And the man damar zonov. If it was a zonov, my by yiskar bosser tachtena. What pshat in the V'yisker Bosdachtana. Amar Birma Vitem Rab Zvid, Vitem Rab Nachman Bayitzak, Lenitzacha, Ela Lamokim Chetach. The place where it was cut off, that's where it needed Bosdachtana, because that's where it was from. Bishlam Lamadam Zonov, Bishlam according to Lamadam who learns that it was a real Zonov, Hayy Dechsev Vayiven. That's why it makes sense to say that Hashem had to build it, because a zonov is not a body, it's not a face. So Hashem had to build from this extra bone. Hashem had to build a person. And the matter of partzuf, if it was already a full partzuf or a full face, even what exactly did Hashem have to do? What was involved in this construction project? So the Rebbeinu Shalom himself became a shadchan. He became a dating consultant. My dechsiv, even Hashem was etzela, melamed shekola hakadosh baruch hu lechava. Hashem actually braided Chava's hair. Hashem did her makeup and did her hair so she should look good on their first date with Adam. She said, "The whole world's running after me. Every man in the world's running after me. I can get anyone I want." You know, who said I want him? So, who said he's going to want her? So Hashem made sure. You know, Hashem was afraid Adam would say, "I don't care if she's the last woman on this earth. I am not marrying her." Right? So Hashem had to make sure that she'll look good. So what do
you mean he didn't create her looking good? I don't understand.
You see, even the women that look good are also busy with their makeup all day, because it's never enough. Shekain b'karchei ayam, and what does binyan have to do with braiding? B'karchei ayam, karin l'kliyasa binyasa. A hairdresser is called a binyasa. Dover achar, vayiven. What does it mean? Vayiven amar abchista of amri love masnisa tanam alamet shabana hakadosh baruch hu lechava kebinyan oitzer. Hashem built the woman's body. Hashem formed the woman's body like a proper storehouse. Ma oitzer. When you have a storehouse, it's wider on the bottom than on top, because otherwise the weight of the fruit on top of the pile would make everything fall apart. But if it's built like a pyramid, then it will withstand the weight and will be able to retain its form to the kabbalas of pairs. She's narrow on top and wide on bottom. I'm not sure exactly where that's referring to, but it's created, her womb was created in such a way, kedei lakabalos of lad, so that it'll be a perfect place to hold a lad.
A woman's skeleton is wider on bottom.
A woman's skeleton is wider on the bottom.
The hip bones are wider.
The hip bones are wider. Vayiviel Adam, he brought her. In other words, he brought her to the first date. Hashem was the Uber who brought her to her first date. And as in those days, the boy didn't go pick up the girl on the date. The girl had to come pick up the boy on the date. So who was her Uber? The Rebbeinu Shalom. Amar B'Yirmiyah ben Elazar, Malamid Shnatza Kadosh Baruch Hu Shushvin Adam Rishon. The Rebbeinu Shalom himself, Rashi says, what's a Shushvin? Mishtadel b'chupasai u'b'zivugai. The Rebbeinu Shalom himself was the party planner. He was the shadchan, he was the Uber, he was the consultant, he was the party planner. Hashem had a full-service shidduch building initiative. Mikan lam the Torah, it's not bizyonis. Fakert mikan lam the Torah der cheretz sheyachser gadol im katan b'sheshvinas val yerloi. Even though you're a choshev person, it's not below your dignity to be oisik and shidduchim of small, simple people, because the Rebbeinu Shalom did it for Adam Rishon. L'man amar partzov, according to the man of the partzov, haminayu sagi b'reisho. Which of the two partzovim face the front? Right? Because one has to face the front, one has to face the back. I don't see the shayla. For sure the woman has to face the back, but she's not interested in the directions. When you drive with her, she's not interested in where you're going. She never knows where she's going. She just wants to know what the guy behind her is wearing, what she was wearing. Right? So she's looking back to see what they were wearing.
But from left to right, she was always looking back.
Right.
Which way they facing?
One part must be facing forward, one backwards. You can't be sideways, then you crash into everything.
Oh, you mean when they're traveling?
Yeah. Well, when the face walk. So who's facing the front? Amr Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak. Can you imagine? You could tell 2 pairs of glasses for every single person. Amr Rab Nachman bar Yitzchak. Mistavri the Gavra Sagi Bereisha. It would make sense to say that the face of the male face faced forward. Titania Lo Yahalach Adam Achari Isha. A person should never walk behind a woman b'derech on the way. Vafilu Ishtoi Nizdamna Lo Ala Gesher. Even if he's walking on a bridge and his wife is there in front of him, Yisal Kenel Estoden. He shouldn't push her to the side. He should move to the side, so he shouldn't be directly behind him. And if you walk behind a woman in a nor where Rashi says where she picks up her clothing, so she's going to become uncovered. So before we go weiter, I want to say a couple of interesting things. So the first thing I want to say is something for the brisker of. The Gemara already says, Lo yahalach adam achar isha. So why does the rice have to stick in again? And if you find her on a bridge, you shall kill it stuck. We already know, you shouldn't go achar isha. So when it comes to Inyan Tznius, you have to put yourself in danger. You have to put yourself in danger. Walking at the side of the bridge, could be there was no guardrail, it puts you in danger. Normally you want to walk dead center. Better put yourself in danger, but avoid Inyan Tznius. And I say a very good story with Rabbi Ruderman that I heard over from somebody. Could be somebody here will recognize who I heard the story from. Rabbi Ruderman was once flying in from somewhere, and they sent a bacher to pick him up from the airport. Rabbi Ruderman, the attendant was not, couldn't see very well, so they called the airlines to say that someone should escort Rabbi Ruderman off the plane till the person that we sent to pick him up arrives. So this person shows up to the airport, and right after he got out of the gate, there was a bench there, and Rabbi Ruderman is sitting on the bench, and there's one stewardess on one side of him, and one stewardess on the other side of him. And he didn't want to sit between two women, so he stands up, and he walks over. So then the stewardess on the far side got up and sat on the other side of him again. And they were moving up and down the bench. And this guy was a stickle funny guy. He said, I wasn't going to rush the scene. I'm going to stand there for a couple of minutes and see what's going on. And after he went back and forth a couple of times, then he came, okay, I'm here to pick up the Rosh Hashanah. Does anybody here recognize the story? Someone should. Zok the Gemara weiter. Toner Rabbanan. What? No, it wasn't me. It's someone in our shiur, someone sitting here today, his father told me the story, and he was the guy who was sent by the yeshiva to pick him up. And this same person told me another story, that he was once walking with his mashgiach in Baltimore, and there was a woman walking in front of him holding a big dog. And he tells the mashgiach, you see that? He says, Mechotif, you don't want to look at that. He says, what? I'm just looking at the dog. So I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I'm just thinking about stories that I heard of. Zog the Heilige Gemara weiter. Toner Rabbanan, Hamaratza mois l'isha miyadol liyadah. If someone passes money from to a woman back and forth, and the purpose is kedei listakel bo, because he wants to look at her, I feel yesh biyadoi Torah u'maisim toivim k'Moshe Rabbeinu lo yinaka medina shel yinam, remember yad from one end to another end, lo yinaka ra, he will not be clean from ra, lo yinaka medina shel yinam. So he brings down from the Imre Emes. The point of this is, what do you mean? I feel yesh Torah ma'asmim k'Moshe Rabbeinu. The point is, don't think I'm a Talmud Chacham, I'm a Rangatana learning, so I don't have to be so careful. I have a shmir of the Torah. Even Moshe Rabbeinu has to be very careful and needs a shmir. Tosha says something very interesting. Tosha says, one time, if you walk behind a woman, you have no chelik l'olam. That's a pretty drastic onus. So Tosha says, "Irogil bekach." If it's something that you do regularly, that's when you're going to have a problem. You know why? If someone is running after women, it's going to end up, he'll be nifshel with niyuf, and that's going to lead him to Gehenim. But on that, the Achronim ask, what does that mean? If someone is over in being boil eshes, he gets misas chenek, and that's a kapara. So why will he go to Gehenim? So he answers that the misa of chenek or any ornish is mechaber a person does an avera once, twice. But if a person is rogel and doing an avera, even the ornish will not save him from doing shal gehinim, and that's why it's important that a person shouldn't be rogel in these things.
He's going to get a beam full of gold.
What?
That guy who's rogel is going to get a beam full of gold.
In this one. Okay.
Beam? What did you say?
We'll see on base.
Yeah, what?
Remember on the dafim before this fellow came before the Rishon, and he rogel the kaf and he got a beam full of gold at the end.
Beam?
Right.
So that's what
The roof.
On the roof.
Because Hashem wanted to pay him up for his mitzvahs in this world. Amar Reb Nachman, Manoach. So Manoach was the fellow who had a child by the name of Shimshon, and he and his wife didn't have children for a long time, and the Malach told them they can have children. So Manoach Amoritz, he was an Amoritz, and Rashi says, what does it mean Amoritz? Lo shimish talmidei chachamim. So he might have learned Chumash, he might have learned Nach, but Shelalamed Mishnah. He didn't. Mishnais in those days was Torah Shabbat. He didn't learn Torah Shabbat. Why? Because he didn't learn the halacha that you're not allowed to walk behind a woman. Manoach followed his wife. So you see, it was an Amoritz. Are you going to tell me every time the pasuk says Vayelech Achar Yishtai it means literal? And that means Manoach was an Amoritz? By Elkanah, Dechsev Vayelech Elkanah Achar Yishtai. V'gabe Elisheva Dechsev Vayakom Vayelech Achareha. Hachanami acharei mamish. Over there we're not talking about amaratzim. Ela acharei devareha, va'acharei atzosa. That's what it means over there. She gave advice and he followed her advice, but he didn't literally walk behind her. So Hachanami acharei devareha va'acharei atzosa. So who said that Elkanah? Who said that Manoach was an amaretz? Omer Rashi, Ulumaydik Omer Rab Nachman, Manoach Amaretz. According to the man Omer who holds that Manoach was an amaretz. What do you mean he was an amaretz? What do you mean he was an amaretz? I feel by Rav Nami Lekara. Not sure he was an amaretz that he learned, except he wasn't Meshamash Tamid Chum. He didn't even know the Taich and Posuk. Shenema Vatakam Rivka V'Narisa Vatekavna Lagumalim Vatelachna Acharei Ish V'Lo Lefnei Ish. So if you're going to say Manoach made such a mistake, don't make it sound like he's the Halb Talmud Chacham. He wasn't Meshamash Tamid Chum. He didn't even know Aleph Beis, if you're going to learn that pasuk as literal. Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Oh, so he says a very, very beautiful word. Rabbi Shach says a beautiful word. You have to think to yourself, what was going on when Manoach went after his wife? He hadn't had children for many, many years, and he got a haftacha from the Malach that he didn't have a child. So he was celebrating. Could you imagine the frame of mind somebody's in when they get touch of Basura? He was celebrating, he was dancing, he was so excited. And even then, there's a time on him that he has to be careful. So the point, Zot Reb Shach, is a person has to know that everybody, when everything's steady and smooth, yeah, they're under control. It's in moments of passion when you're very happy, when things are veiled a little bit. That's when people could slip. That's when you have to be extremely careful. Amar B'Yechanan, Achoyrei Ari, you're better off walking behind a lion, v'lo Achoyrei Isha, but not behind a woman. Acharei Isha, you're better off walking behind a woman, v'lo acharei Akim, but not behind a goy. Acharei Akim is better walking after a goy, v'lo acharei Beis HaKnesses, b'shah she'atzibur mispalim. We learned because it looks like you're not being goyers the tefillah, and you don't need to daven. V'lo Amar, it only looks bad that you're dissing the besmedrash el doidarmid if you're not holding a parcel. V'yidarmid the last one, but if you're holding a parcel, you're not dissing the besmedrash. You have a parcel to deliver. You're allowed to pass the door if there's another door, because no one's going to say you're dissing the B'Shmedish. They say you're probably going in through the other door. That's if you're not riding an animal. Because again, people are going to say you're on your way somewhere. Because if you're wearing tefillin, they know you're davening. And the Chachamim speak out, Avada, if there's another shul in the city, it's also not an issue, because maybe you're going to daven in a different shul, and even if there's no other shul, if there's other minyanim in that shul, maybe you're going to come later to a different minyan. I'm not. No, I don't have pshat. What is pshat? What's the problem with walking behind the goy? What? Oh, so it's not after the oivik kachavim. It's after the avoid zor himself.
How do you walk behind another?
Oh, so we always walk behind the goy. Oh, so now we have pshat.
How do you walk behind another zor?
What?
How do you walk behind another zor?
In a parade.
So he has a very, very interesting thing. He brings down from first he brings down from the Rivan that Acher Ari, V'lo Acher Isha, the Ari is referring to a person should rather put himself into a sakana, rather than put his mabon into a sakana. But he brings down from the Sefer Beis Avram, very, very interesting. The mazel of Av is an Ari, right? The mazel of Elul is a basula.
Virgo.
Oh, I'm sorry?
Virgo.
So basula, right? So he says, do tshuva already after Chodesh Av. Acharei, when you're coming to Yom Roma, you're doing tshuva, do your tshuva after Chodesh Av, at the beginning of Chodesh Av. V'lo acharei Isha, don't wait till Tishrei to start doing tshuva. Start doing tshuva already at the beginning of Elul. That was a nice to hear. Zog Tehillah Gemara weiter. Amar Rav, Yitzhar Doimel is Vuv. The Yitzhar is Doimel to a fly. The Yoshev ben Shnei Miftachil Halev, and it sits in between the two openings in your heart. Shenemar Zevuve Moves, the fly of death. Yavish, I think Yavish means it spoils it. Yabi Hashem Rekayach, it's literally like a fly in your ointment. It ruins the oil. Shmuel Amar Kimin Chita Hudoime, it's like a wheat kernel. Shenemar LePesach Chatas Roivetz, and Chatas is a play on words of Chita, Rashi says. So he has a whole bunch of Torah on this. So he says, what is a Zvuv? A Zvuv, just like a Zvuv, I think he says from the Kedusha Tzion, just like a fly, you don't wait till it's bothering you. Even when it's far away, you try to get rid of it. You try to get even when it's far away. I told you have to keep far, far, far away. And they also say that the Yitzhak keeps coming back. Haksha Chai, it's a lost slavery, but he brings down from the. I'm not sure if it's from the other. He brought it down from a whole bunch of people. That's very interesting. What's Pshat Chita? Chita represents Parnasa. So the Zvuv, first he comes to you. First the Yitzhak comes to you as a Zvuv, as a bad guy, and he's trying to make you naughty. When he sees it doesn't work, then he says, well, you have to do it for Parnasa. You have to do it for Parnasa. The Yitzhak will use Chita, will use Parnasa to try to convince somebody to do affairs, and we have to make sure not to let him in.
It's actually an Avodah Zarah called Baal Zevuf.
What's there?
Lord of the Flies. You ever hear that?
Sure,
That's based on that Avodah Zarah. Huh?
Baal
Baal Zevuf.
Chita doesn't work, then he comes with Heiligkeit, then he comes with Frumkeit.
That's right. He makes everything into mitzvah. Right. And that's the Yitzhar's ploy. He tries to make. If it doesn't work to get you to do the Lever, he tries to convince you that it's a mitzvah. Shmuel Amar. A person has two kidneys. One gives him a good eitzah, and one gives him a bad eitzah. I know somebody who donated a kidney, and he asked his yeshiva, is he allowed to, which one he should donate? And they wrote to him Hakas Kachaynik. The Tovi Elaminai, the good one is on his right side, Viral Smoilai. I once heard a very nice pshat. What does it mean, Leiv Chacham Yelaminai? Nobody's heart is on their right side. Our heart is on our left side. So we left Leiv Chacham Yelaminai. So he said, someone said a beautiful pshat. I think I heard it from Rabbi Shapiro from Florida. I think I heard it from him at a parlor meeting for Achenu at Rav Hofstad's house. I think he said Leiv Chacham means a Chacham thinks about Yener. When you're facing Yener, his heart is on your right side. And the Leiv Sil Smoiler because he's thinking about himself. Tanarban, Kloyois, Yoyatos. Your kidneys give you H's, Leiv Maven, your heart understands, Loshon Mechatech, your tongue articulates speech, Peh Goimer, the Peh, Rashes, they're the lips that finalize the speech and move it out and project it. Veshet, Machnis Umoitzi Kalmane Michael, the Veshet, which is the food pipe, brings in and takes out. Now the ches maybe takes out the moitzi, or maybe it means when those who take out the word moitzi. On Purim we understand a little bit what moitzi means. Kana, the windpipe, moitzi coil, it gives out noise or voice. Head over heels. Okay, Raya, your lungs, Evis Kolmane Maskin, that absorbs Maskin. Rashi says, Abu Mishay Mechnosin, the Keres, Der Chaveshet, Hareya Moitet Tzosan, Vashevotan, Niba'ad Doif Keres. Somehow the lungs absorb moisture, I don't know how that works. Kove Koyes, your liver makes you angry. Mara, your bile sac, Zerekas Boitiba, it throws in an antidote that calms down the anger of the liver. Coil, the spleen, soichit, that makes us laugh. Korkavan, which is one of the stomachs, Rashi is the oifel message of Hema. Toichen, it grinds the food. Keva, your stomach, Shena makes you tired. I can understand that. Af, your nose, Meir wakes you up. What happens if Neir HaYosh and Yoshnanar, what if they switch roles? It's not going to work out well for you. Nimik v'hoilachloi, Rashi says you're going to be misnavin of Eileches, it's not good. Tana, im shneim yishonim, if both are causing you to go to sleep, or shneim nurim, or both of you are going to keep you awake, miyad meis, then you're going to die right away, because you either won't be able to sleep or you won't be able to wake up. Tanya Rabbi Yosef Omer, tzadikim yetzer toiv shoivtan. A tzadik, the yetzer toiv rules him. Shnemar, Adover Melch said, v'libi cholal bekirbi. Rashi's Yetzer Hara, Harei Kameis Bekirbi, Sheyesh Biyad L'Kaifai. I could control it. Rishayim Yetzer Hara Shoifton. The Rishayim, the Yetzer Hara controls them, rules them. Shnemen Peshel Rasha Bekerev Libi Ein Pachad Elakim L'Neged Einov. And Rashi explains this very nicely. Rashi's Amar David. David said, Bekerev Libi Yesh. It's in my heart. Well, Amar Ani, and I say Shapesha Nu'um L'Rasha. The Pesha is on the L'Rasha. What does that mean? Kleimer, Yetzer Hara Oimer L'Rasha. The Yetzer tells the Yetzer Hara, Alte Pachad Elakim L'Neged Einecha. Don't worry about Hashem. Alma, you see from here, the Yetzer Hara shoiftoi at shemarchikoi she'enim mispachim v'yotzroi. So the Yetzer Hara rules over him to pull him out of the control of the Yetzer Hatov, of the Rebbeinu Shalom, and that's exactly how the Tanya describes the constant battle. They're both fighting for control of our psyche. The Zev is, and Beinanim Zev is a Shofton. There's two. There's the Seter Achara, the Yetzer Hara, and the Yetzer Hara fighting for control. Shnemay Lam Yamid Liyamin Evyon Loishia Mishoiftei, plural Mishoiftei Nafshoi. Hashem will stand on our right side to protect us from those who are trying to rule over us. The Yetzer Tov and the Yetzer Hara. Amar Rava. People like us are Beinanim. Amalei Baye, what are you talking about? Rashi says, you're a Beinim, Atam and a Beinim, ain't loch tzaddik gomer ba'olam. If you're a Beinim, what are we, chopped liver? This is going back to what Chaim Tzvi said. The world was created either for Rishayim Gemurim, so they have from Alam Gittin, so they are paid off in this world, or Tzaddikim Gemurim who are totally removed from Olam Hazeh, so that they should have Olam Haba. A person should know on himself where he's holding. Amarav lo ivri amel Achav ben Imri, who was a very wealthy man, although he wasn't such a big tzaddik. Chanina ben Doisa, who was a big tzaddik, but he had nothing. La'achav ben Imri olam hazeh, Chanina ben Doisa olam haba. So it sounds from the Gemara that we're very polarized. That you either, if you're a tzaddik, you're going to be in poverty, and if you're a Russia, you're going to have everything. So he brings down that that even though you do find the Yavich, you find Torah Gedula Mechad, those people who are tzaddikim and also have Gedula, that's not their schar. That's a matana from their bunch. It's a chanoises sharachim. V'hatus Hashem alekecha. It says in Kriyishma, Tanya B'lezer Omer, Im nemer b'chol nafshecha, loma nemer b'chol moedecha. It says b'chol nafshecha, your whole being. What's up shot b'chol moedecha? V'nemer b'chol moedecha, loma nemer b'chol nafshecha. Ella, what is the answer? Im yesh lach odom sheguf echav v'alav v'mono. If someone whose guf is more chav than his money, his life is more important than his money, which is most people. L'kach nemer b'chol nafshecha. Im yesh lach odom, if there's a person shemamoyin chav v'alav b'gufay, not that he'd give up his life for it, but he sometimes goes after money too much. And the first to speak out, that's only in the first parsha of Shema where it's in singular lashon. In the second parsha of Shema B'Hoya, it says b'chol nafshechem. It doesn't say b'chol ma'oidchem, because as a group, no group will ever put their money before their life. It's only Yechidim you might find that. Even if he's going to take your life, Tanur Rabbanan. They were Gozer, Klai, Yosef, and Torah. But Papas ben Yehuda, Umatzin Reb Akiva, Shoy Makal, Kilis, Barab, and Baisik, Torah. Amalei Akiva, how could you gather and build yeshivas in such an environment? They're going to kill you. Yatam Yisrael, Pnei Malchus. Are you not afraid of the Malchus? So I think the Meir Shapiro said his taina wasn't that he was learning. His taina is, why are you building yeshivas? Learn privately. But why are you making this a big public event? Amr Loi, so Rabbi Akiva answered the Papas. Emshel lach mashul l'mal davidoyma. L'shul is the famous mashul. L'shul afak shoyim halach al gavanor. V'rod dogim shoyim eskapsim mimakam u'makam. He saw fish running from place to place. Amr Loi mipnei atem baruch barchim. What are you running away from? Amr Loi mipnei reshtis shemavina lein v'nei adam. They're constantly putting nets to catch us. We need to escape their grasp. Amr Loi, I have a simple idea if you want to escape nets. Come here with me. V'noder ani v'atem will have a great time. I'll have fish for lunch. Right? And it will be great. Just like our fathers were with your fathers. I don't know when that was. Amuleta told him, Ata, who you, Mr. Fox, you're not a smart guy. In a place where we can survive in the water. In a place where we'll for sure die without water. Allah has come kama. Sagt Rabbi Akiva to Papas, Ava nachnu, achshav shon yoyshvim v'oishkim b'Torah, shekasav bach kuchayecha v'rechimecha, kach, if while we're doing what Hashem wants us to do and we're connected to the Eitz Chaim Milam HaChazikim Ba, we're in such danger. Imanu hoichlin muvatlam imenu, Allah has come kama. Amr, they said, like Yom Matam, it didn't take very long. Eshet Tafsul, Rabbi Akiva was caught. V'chavshu b'veis hasurin. V'tafsul l'Papas ben Yehuda v'chavshu etzloi. And Papas ben Yehuda was also chapped. And I think the Gemara Tanya says that how was Papas chapped? He wasn't chapped for his own affair. Someone died. No, a girl was killed, the daughter of one of the Malachim, and they wanted to kill all the Eden for it because they didn't know who was responsible, and Papa said, I did it. He admitted to doing something that he actually didn't do to save Klal Yisrael. Amalei Papas, mi avi achalaka. He asked Papas, how did you get her? Amalei Ashrecha Bakiva shenitfast al Torah. You at least got caught for the Torah. Other the Papas shenitzas al Dvar Metelim. I got caught for. I didn't even do anything. B'shah shetzius Bakiva lariga is among Krishma. It was among Krishma. Well, you circle this B'sarei b'masreika shal Barzil. They were combing his skin off with metal combs. Where you makabel of oil malchus shemayim. Amalei Talmida Rabbeinu. At kan is this how weit you have to have Havas Hashem? Amalei, what are you talking about? You think you just could be moish and nefesh? You can give yourself up to Hashem in one fell swoop. It takes a whole lifetime to prepare for this. Kol yama yayisim mitztara pasuk zeh b'chol nafshcha avilu noitlos neshmoscha amarti moshe yava il yodi v'akemenu v'achshav shabal yodi lo yakemenu v'yimarech be'echad asher yotza neshmoshe be'echad yotza baskar l'baskar temat v'rama ashrecha bekiva sheyotza neshmoshe be'echad Amar malachei asher tofnei kadosh baruch hu zu Torah zu schora. Is this how you reward somebody for Torah? Mimtim yotcha Hashem mimsim, meaning it's better a person died natural death. Here Rabbi Akiva died such a violent death. Amar lahem chelkam b'chayim. He's alive. Yotza baskal of Amar ashrecha Rabbi Akiva shetam mezum l'chayim abah. He has chayim olam abah. Now they say the Tanya of the Malachim was not that Rabbi Akiva was getting killed. The Tanya was on the torture, and the same thing with the Talmidim. They understood what it means to give up your love off to Hashem. But the torture that someone that someone had to endure such terrible pain, that was their shaila. And the Akiva said, my whole life I waited and I prepared to be able to be the Kaddish Shem Shemayim.
Papa was saying that even though I was also brought in for a mitzvah, I was also taken for a mitzvah. Even though I was brought in for a mitzvah,
It's not.
you were still Ashrecha because you were brought in for Torah. I'm wondering if the mashal was said for the nimsha, meaning you had a